The energy is mounting. And this summer, the NBA owners approving the $1.5 billion sale of the Minnesota Timberwolves, Shams.
How about that? An absolute steal. We're never going to see a team sold for $1.5 billion again, BA. And when you see a team selling like that, it means more investments are coming. The Wolves play in the second oldest arena in the NBA, so I'm told getting a new one built over the next decade is the next order of business for the Timberwolves.
Feels like the right time for an up-and-coming team. They were almost there last season. Let's check out Minnesota's starting lineup. DiVincenzo and Edwards are the backcourt. Randall at power forward with Reed at center. And it's McDaniels in at the 3 slot. Randall outside. Takes a 3. Claxton with a rebound. A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Well, Jordy Fernandez and I got a chance to talk for a bit. Immediately, Anthony Edwards came up in our conversation, and Coach kind of chuckled and said, well, I don't know if anyone on the planet can slow this kid down. He's on his way to becoming one of the best in the league, if he's not there already. Looks like they're going to roll the dice on one of the league's most talented players. Brian?
And Allie, thank you for that. And Brooklyn with possession here, following the three-pointer by Minnesota. Outside Porter, just 5 to shoot. Toure for 3. Nice start for him, sinking his first shot.
That's how you up the ante. Come right back at him.
Yeah, I love the competitive fire right there. You drain a triple on us, and I'm coming for my revenge.
And more, we're seeing teams run one center with 4 perimeter players, Shams. What's changed?
Well, it's a copycat league. When things are going great, other teams want to copy. And so what we're seeing now is teams' most effective lineups, more shooting and more mobility. That usually overbalances any deficit you have as far as shot blocking or rebounding in today's NBA.
Now here's Porter. He chipped in with 13 points in his last game. Traore gets the bucket.
Just taking it right to the rim, and no one was there to greet him.
Easy possessions like that literally are just a gift. You just dream of them. He'll gladly take those.
And Edwards, here we go. DiVincenzo, pass to Edwards. Out to DiVincenzo. Good ball movement here by Minnesota. And Edwards slams it in.
Oh my, Edwards looking to demoralize the defense a little with that one.
And so the timeout by Jordy Fernandez here. He'll take the opportunity to regroup.
Yeah, Coach no doubt wants to use this timeout to review the matchups and maybe make some adjustments as well.
I'm sure all of the above is in order, and you can never be too content.
Just over 2.5 minutes played here in the first. Here's Dimon. Nails it from 3.
Defensively, you have to stay connected to him on the perimeter.
And the one thing you hear about in hoop circles, the weak link theory. You familiar, Shams?
Yeah, you know, it's an idea that to win nowadays, you can't have a weak link for the other team to expose. You need guys that can play both ends of the floor, guys that can play defense, guys that can also spread the floor, that aren't a liability on either end of the floor. So we saw that in the NBA Finals, 2 teams clearly stacked with guys who play both ends.
Here's Traore. We saw him with 11 points in his last game. Here's Dimon. Reed defending. DiVincenzo with the steal. Pass to Edwards. Randall on the screen. And Edwards, here we go. And Edwards slams it in.
And a slick play called by Edwards, creating space for himself to operate.
Brooklyn trailing. Here's Clowney. For 3, Dimon. And the Nets, another 3!
And what kind of defense was that? You can't give up wide open threes like that. What are you doing?
Randall with it. No points so far. And there's the lob. And it's Randall with the jam.
Yeah, great teamwork. Randall has a terrific connection with his teammates. Love when he goes after those alley-oops.
Shams, we've heard Commissioner Silver suggest that with the global audience for the game, team market sizes matter less to free agents.
For most players, it's about winning, and then secondarily, where they'd like to live, and the financial aspect of market size is not as relevant as it once was. Money still does talk, though.
That might be one of the biggest changes in the game over the last few decades.
BA, you can win and succeed anywhere.
The tenacity from Edwards. I mean, I love when he attacks the basket like that.
Pass to Toure. And here's Porter. There's the triple. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Reed. Since we have a chance, let's see the player of the week for the Western Conference, Anthony Edwards.
He's made himself the cornerstone of their offensive efforts recently, and he's providing for his squad in every regard on that end of the floor. Scoring, passing, picks, you name it, he's doing it.
And it's time to give you a look at the top three-point shooting teams from a year ago. Fourth, the Timberwolves.
Their long-range game was a huge strength. They spread the floor, found the open shots, and made the most of their chances.
1:46 left now in the first quarter. And he buries his first look.
When you use it right, the pump fake's as effective a move as there is.
And with picks 2 and 3 in this year's draft, Shams, we saw the Spurs and the Sixers add to already crowded backcourt rotations.
The draft is really a talent grab, so you have to go for the best available. But we saw in the finals the value of having multiple guys who can play with the ball in their hands, spread the floor, do multiple things on the court, and the competitiveness is a big part of this. The ability to play both ends is a big part of this. So all of those traits increasingly important to win in today's NBA.
And so it's Minnesota with it, following the bucket by Brooklyn. Edwards, the pass to McDaniels. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Now here's Edwards. The D's right on him. And it's good with time running down on the shot clock.
You got to bring more muscle if you want to stop Edwards from scoring. He's gifted at converting through contact.
Outside Porter. The three. Reed with the rebound.
And lockdown defense against one of the best three-point shooters in the league.
8-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Left side, Edwards. And Edwards slams it in.
Trading the lead back and forth, neither side is willing to back down.
I've been on the edge of my seat courtside. Man, this has been a barn burner.
And here's Porter outside. Hits the trifecta. And the Nets lead by 1. And the chess match continues.
7 lead changes already, and we're still in the first half.
Well, good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Nets out in front, up 1. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2. And close game underway so far. We'll see if either of these teams can jump out ahead in the second quarter. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Brooklyn.
They've really been dialed in from deep. This is a team that has a ton of confidence in their outside shooting ability.
And another thing, they found the open man. Really playing unselfish basketball, moving the ball around there on the perimeter.
So for Minnesota right now, Randall at power forward with Reed at center. Edwards is the 2, McDaniels the 3. And it's DiVincenzo in at the 1.
Wow, Julius Randle. We could feel the floor shaking on that one.
And the sense was the back half of this year's draft was a little thinner than normal. Why was that, Shams?
It's because the money is getting bigger and bigger in college basketball. And a lot of those potential late first or second round picks can just simply make more money in college than go to the NBA. So as these new rules start to regulate and the revenues potentially get shared more across the schools, potentially it normalizes it a little bit. But these players in college are able to make essentially the NBA minimum, if not higher the NBA minimum, even as second round potential picks.
Good point. Here's Saraf after the Timberwolves picking up a basket a moment ago. Here's Mann. Softly drops in the floater.
Making the floater look this smooth is not as easy as it looks. It's a challenging shot.
Outside Edwards from outside the arc. Edwards hits from beyond the arc.
The offensive success is due in part to his quality shooting. He hasn't wasted too many looks.
And Jordi Fernandez wants a timeout. He's going to take a minute to regroup with his players. And how about we check the numbers for Anthony Edwards? Nets trail by 4. Outside Sharp. Pass to man. Here's Clowney. Here's the 3. Edwards pulls it in. And Shams, in this summer's draft, the Brooklyn Nets becoming the first team ever to select 5 first-rounders.
They've got a lot of young players, BA, and Coach Jordi Fernandez is renowned for his player development. And now he has plenty to work with. And you look at this rookie group, a lot of playmaking and creation. That's the recurring theme there, and they're maintaining flexibility year to year.
Is there time now or more in the future?
It's more in the future. They're building with a lot of assets. They've got a ton of draft capital. They've got a ton of salary cap space even next summer. So this is a team that we could see over the next couple of years make some pretty big moves.
Nets are going to be in the headlines quite a bit for sure. Now here's Edwards. We saw him go on a scoring rampage last game. He was unstoppable. Randall, a screen on Porter. Just 5 on the clock. And it's Randall with the jam.
On either side of the pick and roll, Randall is a problem.
Here's Dimon. DiVincenzo covering. Pass to man. Lets it go from deep. Nails it from beyond the arc. Man's got 5 points now this quarter.
Pick works well there, but the defense left a lot to be desired.
Yeah, that just comes down to a lack of effort. The defender has to do a better job fighting through the screen.
Now here's Edwards. He's got 17. Pulls it from the top of the key. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Edwards has got 19 points. And the league instituting an international flavor for this year's All-Star Game, Shams. What more can you tell us?
Yeah, I'm told the league is really drawing inspiration from what we saw be a successful tournament in hockey. The NBA has been eager to increase the compete level for years now, so the U.S. versus the world format might just be the one to facilitate that this year.
The Timberwolves lead by 5. And the officials will call the illegal screen here. Let's see how last year's top scorers stack up on the 2K leaderboard. The 4th spot held by Anthony Edwards.
This is a guy who never took a night off. You look at his numbers and you know that he put in a tremendous effort every single game.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Nick Claxton comes in for Sharp. Traore comes in for Man. The Timberwolves have gotten 5 of their first 6 attempts to fall in the second. Now here's Edwards. 19 points in the game. From downtown, fires in the triple. And now an 8-point Timberwolves lead.
Keep riding that hot hand. He's been pretty much unstoppable.
And from the sideline, let's catch up with Allie.
Thanks. Michael Porter Jr. was the #1 prospect in his high school class, and he said, growing up, basketball was easy for me. It was like, say, going up an elevator. But after my injuries, it's like climbing the stairs. It's like I'm walking in my purpose through this, more than if everything had just been smooth. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Allie. Now here's Edwards. They lead by 8, biggest lead of the game. And Edwards slams it in.
And certain nights, Edwards just goes off. Very tough to stop when he's in the zone.
Pass to Porter. Here's Dimon. Back to Porter. Here's Traore. He's got 5. And Claxton gets the bucket.
When they get their opportunity to punch it inside, they don't hesitate.
All right, Chums, we know you got to hop back on your phone in case you have to break any news. Thank you for being with us here tonight. Great stuff.
Happy to be here, BA. Thank you.
And as always, it's terrific to get a visit from the one and only Shams.
I'm a little disappointed he didn't break a huge story here with us. And that would have been a true Shams moment.
Now here's Porter. Pass to Clowney. Here's Dimon. Guarded by Edwards. And stolen by Edwards. He goes up. Edwards rises up and powers it down.
Can you say terrific athlete? Edwards just enjoys getting deep positioning and rising up for the slam.
Screen by Claxton. Traore gets the bucket. Traore's got 7.
Used the pick to perfection and got all the way to the rim.
Edwards looking for an opening. Jacks up a 3. He drops it from range. And the Timberwolves lead by 11.
and he has flat out taken over this quarter. Keep feeding the beast.
Pass to Clowney. And there's the screen. Good ball movement here by Brooklyn. For three, Dimon. Counted from distance. He's got 9.
Rate of baskets assisted, it's a stat I really like. It tells the story of how well you are playing team offense.
For three, DiVincenzo. No good. Misses at the buzzer. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves up by a healthy 8 points at the end of the period. What has them in front right now, by and large, they're taking great shots. We'll be right back.
Fans, please direct your attention to the center court. And get ready for the fan half-court shot drum line. They're thinking about the shot. Now you were so close. Nice try. One more time, a round of applause for our contestants.
Hello and welcome, basketball fans.
They've got to play with more force defensively, if you ask me. You got to make them feel you.
Yeah, touch them up if you have to. Right now, they're putting up no resistance.
Okay, and now moving on to what's been a fantastic head-to-head matchup at the 2-guard spot.
This kind of performance, fans.
Glad you could join us. Ryan Anderson and crew are ready to take it away for the start of the third quarter.
And we played through the first half. Plenty of basketball left in this one. And you know, Anthony Edwards has been really making it happen, guys.
Through the first 2 quarters, he's been on fire. Explosive offensive performance.
If they don't change their approach in the second half, let's just say his success will continue.
Nets trail by 8. RJ looking back at the trade that sent Durant from the Nets to the Suns. What a deal for Brooklyn.
Yeah, it was 4 first-round picks and a swap from the Suns. Also, the Nets got Mikal Bridges, who they shipped to the Knicks for 5 more first-round picks. Now that's how you reboot a team.
Porter Jr. and Clowney in it forward. Dimon out there with Traore. And it's Claxton in at the 5. So that's the Nets 5. Minnesota leading by 8. And here's Edwards. Outside for Randall. Back to Edwards. 6 to shoot. To the inside. Reed. A slam dunk by Reed.
Yeah, great play from Edwards off the pick and roll. Moving the ball around and get another guy a shot.
Pass to Claxton. Now here's Porter. Here's Dimon. Here's Traore. DiVincenzo covering. Right at the free throw line. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. And so it's Edwards who brings up the ball for the T-Wolves. They haven't given up any points here in the second half. Randall on the screen. Edwards, a pass to McDaniels. Now Edwards. He's guarded by Porter. Minnesota needs to get off a shot. DiVincenzo can't hit. Nets trail by 10. Pass to Clowney. Now here's Claxton. Now here's Porter. Guarded by Edwards. Here's Clowney. The 3. Traore can't hit. McDaniels finds Edwards. And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. And Edwards slams it in.
Slams it down with 2 hands.
Man, they're really getting aggressive now. And so the timeout by Jordi Fernandez here. And we might see some changes. Coach potentially looking to adjust. A look look now at the leaderboard to see which teams had the toughest defenses this past season. 5th, the Timberwolves.
They made life hard on opponents. One of the best defenses in the NBA last year.
Pass to Toure. Claxton, a screen on DiVincenzo. Here's Toure. Good work defensively by DiVincenzo.
Not an ideal start to the second half for them. 0 for 3.
Outside for Randall. Good. The assist goes to Edwards. Edwards has got 6 assists now in the game. Well, Grant, offense is trying to stretch the D to the breaking point, but it goes beyond just three-point shooting.
Yeah, there's how you position on the perimeter, but, you know, then you also want that vertical spacing too, where you have a lob threat at the rim.
Pass to Dimon. Shot to stop the run. It's rebounded by Minnesota. Reed's got rebound number 5 here tonight.
And they're +5 on the boards after that rebound.
Porter against Edwards. And here's Reed. Over Claxton. Reed can't hit. Edwards against Porter. To the left wing. Pass to Toure. Good ball movement here by Brooklyn. Now Porter. Here's Dimon from behind the arc. Edwards pulls it in. Edwards got 6 rebounds now in the game. Out to DiVincenzo. Up and over Porter. DiVincenzo can't hit.
And he's very confident from that range, but you can't make him all.
Pass to Clowney. Now Porter puts up a 3. Drops in with 3. Porter's got his 2nd basket of the night.
A lights-out three-point shooter. All Porter Jr. needs is a little wiggle room, and he's pulling up.
Randall on the screen. Edwards, a pass to Randall. Yes, and it's Edwards picking up the assist. And the Timberwolves lead by 14.
Their interior D continues to look shaky. Not a good matchup for them right now.
Pass to Claxton. Here's Toure. He's got 7. Inside, Clowney. Good on the bucket. Clowney's gotten his first bucket of the night.
At point-blank range, oh yeah, you're not missing from there.
Outside Edwards. Outside for Randall. Puts it up from 17. Outside, DiVincenzo to the wing on the left. Randall can't hit. Nets trail by 12. Pass to Dimon. 3-pointer. The rebound by the Timberwolves. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. Back to Edwards. 1:14 left in the third. To the right side. Here's Reed. The rebound by Dimon. Brooklyn's gone just 1 of 5 from 3-point range here in the third quarter. Pass to Clowney. This one for 3. And that one's good. Dimon for 3. Dimon's got 12 points.
If you're not right up there on him, oh, he's going to make you pay.
Now here's Edwards. He's covered closely. Back to Randall. Now Edwards. Given 31. Oh, yes.
Whoa.
Throw it down.
Oh, wow. That type of finish is just deflating right now for a team that's trying to make a comeback.
Ouch. That's certainly a big-time finish right there. It was one big exclamation point, or maybe even a question mark. Now here's Porter. He's got 6. Randall with a steal. To the middle. Here's McDaniels, and he throws it down. What a terrific lead pass.
Adding insult to injury with the dunk off the steal.
Nice to see a good play on D. That led to some fireworks.
Once he poked it away, you knew what was on his mind.
And so it's Minnesota in a good situation, up by 13 points to close the quarter. They're getting quality looks, and that's why they're shooting at such a high clip. Back after this. And a moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And just a selfless decision from your two-guard, showing his ability to get his teammates good looks.
We talk a lot about playing for one another. Right there with the pass, he's demonstrated what it means to do exactly this.
Well, there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. And a look now at the 5 for the Timberwolves to start the fourth quarter. McDaniels at the 3 with Randall at the 4. DiVincenzo and Edwards are the backcourt, and it's Reed in at the center position. Sharp against Reed. Fires, high post. Porter gets the bucket.
A talented shooter like Porter has no trouble with the mid-range. He makes it look almost easy.
Edwards with it. Randall, a screen on Williams. Edwards, a pass to Randall. And it's Randall with the jam.
Oh, Randall put some extra on that slam, entertaining the fans and the broadcasters.
A little over a minute of the fourth quarter gone now. Pass to Wolf. Now here's Mann. Shot clock at 5. Here's Sharp. And he goes in for the dunk.
And what an aggressive move to the rim. He's really trying to fire up his teammates right now.
Boy, it's not hard to feel inspired after a teammate makes that kind of finish.
And that could be the spark they needed to make a little run as they try to even this thing up.
Edwards driving on easy 2 on the layup. Edwards has got 37.
That's 10 straight points they've given up in the painted area.
Pass to Williams. Played it in with a nice touch off the window.
It's nice to see they're not settling for three-pointers. These guys are putting in the work inside.
Outside Edwards. Outside McDaniels. And the 3 off target.
Given his range, you'd expect him to capitalize on that opening.
And DiVincenzo comes to help. Outside man. There's a screen. Outside Porter. Three-pointer off the mark. The Timberwolves lead by 13. Outside Edwards. Lots of room. And another basket for Minnesota.
Oh, that's a sweet move, guys. That's how you humiliate someone on the court.
Ooh, you can break all the ankles you want. You still got to knock down the shot, and he nails it.
Porter, the pass to Mann. Pass to Wolf. The 3 is up. It's rebounded by Anthony Edwards. Edwards got his 8th rebound here tonight. Outside McDaniels. Edwards a screen on Williams. And it's McDaniels off the drive. Edwards, a pass to Reed. Over Sharp. Randall outside. McDaniels from long range. The rebound by the Nets. Porter's got his 4th rebound in this one. And the shot goes down.
Smart play there by Porter. Working his way inside to find a reliable, close-range look.
Williams against Edwards. Reed, a screen on Williams. And the call is going to be, yes, an illegal screen.
You can get away with one once in a while, but it looked like he wasn't completely set on that pick.
You gotta blow the whistle when it's that obvious. Great call there by the official.
And Jordi Fernandez calls timeout. He's decided it's time to clarify the situation, leaving little room for error. All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Hey guys, well, Jordi Fernandez was just reviewing the plan with his team. He did his best to light a fire under them, saying we have to fight. Now is the moment. We have to come out of this deficit swinging. Guys?
Okay, thank you, Allie. Claxton, a screen on Edwards. Now Claxton. And he powers it down, one-handed.
B.A., when he gets the rim in his sights, it's tough to stop.
So aggressive and a determined finisher. Nice. Knocks down the trifecta.
Yeah, good decision by Edwards, feeding the outside shooter.
Here's Porter. Now Claxton. Tries from 19. Randall ripped down the board. The Timberwolves lead by 14. Outside Edwards. 1:51 left to play in the fourth quarter.
He is torching a defense that simply has no answers for him.
Now Claxton. Oh, unanswered slam.
He finds a shooter in motion and is confident he can thread him with the lead pass. Well done.
Jacks up a three. Ooh, it doesn't go.
He didn't make them pay for that weak defense, but they just can't rely on him to miss those kind of shots.
Here's Traoré. And Grant, many of the newer rules have helped unlock offenses. Any need to help out the defense?
You know, I think the rules are fine, B.A. It's just about allowing defenders to do their job and limiting the cheap foul calls so they can stay on the floor. And they had an advantage tonight. Came out sharp and did what was needed. Nice win here for the Timberwolves.
They were the more accurate club. And in the end, that made the difference, Grant.
Yeah, B.A., you have to love their strategy. And even more, you love the execution.
And this will give them their 7th win of the year.
And they meet just twice, so taking the first meeting means a lot to this team.
And one player just stole the show tonight, doing everything for his team. A monster night for Anthony Edwards.
And he was doing everything out there on the floor tonight. Triple-double on the stat sheet, and that doesn't even tell the whole story.
Cleared away by Edwards.
A rare miss for him at point-blank range. That's one he'd like to have back.
24 seconds left in the fourth quarter here. From 13 feet. Rebounded by Powell. And stolen by Edwards. He takes it in. Flushes it down with both hands. And so it's Minnesota easily grabbing this one. This one wasn't even close. The hometown crowd was waiting for a miracle that never came.
Yeah, and this team was consistent throughout. They met every challenge, and they earned this dub.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Richard Jefferson, Grant Hill, and Allie LaForce, this is Brian Anderson saying thanks for watching. And now let's take a look at our player of the game, Anthony Edwards.